Today, we are having an open house meeting. So, what is an open house meeting? Open house meeting is nothing but where we actually have known Toastmasters who can freely attend the meeting and get a flavor of a typical Toastmaster meeting. So, for the benefit, give you a basic idea about Toastmasters and how it functions, and more important, how a Toastmaster membership can benefit you. Okay, so are you all ready for that? I'll start sharing my screen now. So let's figure out how a Toastmaster membership can help you find your voice. Some of you may have heard of Toastmasters before and some may not. Toastmasters is a worldwide non-profit educational organization that empowers people to become more effective communicators and leaders. This is a network of over 358,000 members in more than 16,800 clubs across 143 countries. There are several benefits of joining a Toastmasters club, yes. First and foremost, you will learn clear communication skills and improve on public speaking. Along the way, you will also learn leadership skills. The skills you learn here will be a helping hand and definitely be giving you an advantage at your workplace as well. A club, a Toastmaster club. So what it is like being a member in a Toastmasters club? What is the club experience like? It is a self-paced, hands-on learning environment that provides you with opportunities to give both prepared and impromptu speeches. After you give a speech, you will receive honest, encouraging, and structured evaluations. This is very important, okay? And we'll have the ability to implement that feedback in a later speech. So this is exactly how we learn and become a better communicator by ourselves. You can see the club mission below the slide, which we actually read out in the Surgeon at Arms introduction. Now, what is a Pathways learning experience in Toastmasters? Pathways is nothing but the education program which we follow. It focuses on 5 core competencies. And currently there are 11 specialized learning paths. And we are expecting more to be coming. Each member receives one free path to start with, and they are able to work on multiple paths at the same time. Here is a glimpse into what Pathways looks like. The current 11 paths are displayed, and so the 5 core competencies as well. They are public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. Confidence is unique, isn't it? Because it cannot be taught, but it is gained in every path. Each path you learn multiple competencies. And the best thing is that it is tailor-made for our requirement because each and everyone's requirement is unique, isn't it? So we are free to choose the path which we find more suitable for us to our requirements. I mentioned about evaluation process. Now this is a preview of what an evaluation form might look like. You are evaluated on skills such as vocal variety, eye contact, comfort level, your body language. Each skill has a clearly outlined criteria that corresponds to a number. The learning doesn't stop at the club level. No. Active members receive a subscription to Toastmaster magazine, which is filled with guidance on public speaking, leadership, featured articles on fellow Toastmasters, and much, much more. It offers the opportunity to compete in a speech contest, starting from the club level. If you are a winner, you can go ahead to area, division, district, which culminates at the World Championship of Public Speaking, which is usually conducted in a Toastmasters International Convention. So, as a part of this, currently we are having our district level contest happening this weekend, and two of our members are our participants as well. So, as I told, Toastmasters is an enriching experience in which you can find your voice. So, I hope you're all ready to join. Now, here's how you can join. As I mentioned, you can reach out to the Vice President of Membership of our club, who is Toastmaster Alina Paul. She'll give you an application form for membership, which you can complete and return it back to her. And you can pay the club fees and Toastmasters International fees, which we can give you a clear idea about once you get in touch with us. So I hope this actually helped you to gain some insights about what is Toastmasters and probably how it can help you. So I'm sure all of you are waiting to experience the Toastmaster journey, right? And we have lined up a great meeting for you. More than that, it's a team meeting. Yes, you heard me right. It's a team meeting with a relevant theme. So, all about the theme and our today's meeting will be explained to you by the Toastmaster of the day, who will be the host of the function. Yes, with all your permission, I hand over the podium to the Toastmaster of the day, who is none other than our superhero, Toastmaster Freddy. Over to you, Toastmaster Freddy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Freddie, we can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Something that will be an answer to the 1,100 questions deep inside our own faculty, within our heart, and of course, deep in our mind. Well, according to Johari's theoretical and psychological theory, there are four windows in order for us to know our perspective and our own personality. Would you like to know about all these things? If you are ready, let's start our team tonight, and I'm going to show you if you are ready. Our first teammate is, of course, our timer, one of the classical yet phenomenal Toastmaster of our own time. He is always full of life, energy, and deep emotions. And according to him, during his time of uncertainty, he said his best remedy is attending and thinking of Toastmasters. I wonder if his wife must be jealous of the Toastmasters. I hope not. Ladies and gentlemen, our timer is no other than Toastmaster Alan Paul.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Toastmaster of the Day, Freddie. My name is Alan Paul, and I will be serving as the timer for today. Time management is very important in Toastmasters, and just like every other meeting, we will be making sure that everything is timed and that we end exactly on time as per the agenda. The timing rules are as follows. I'll be flashing the green light when the minimum time is there. I'll be flashing the yellow light as soon as we hit the mid, and I'll be flashing the red light when it is the end. So the timing will be as follows. For prepared speeches, we will have 5 minutes, it will be green. On 6 minutes, it will be yellow. And on 7 minutes, I'll flash the red light, as you can see over here. Same goes for table topics. As we don't have table topics today, we'll only be having general evaluation. General evaluation, the evaluators' timings will be as follow. On 2 minutes, I'll flash the green. On 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll flash the yellow. And on 3 minutes, I'll flash the red. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alan. And for our next teammate will be our timer, one of the gentlemen. And don't be jealous. He's one of my favorite buddies, okay? And you will never feel bored. So let's give our hand for our egg counter, our Toastmaster, our own president also, Toastmaster Amrit Pukadan.
Thank you, Freddie, for that wonderful introduction. As an hour counter, my duty is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or, say, pause filler by anyone who speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, like, things like that. And I'll be making a note of this and I'll be giving my report towards the end of the meeting during my turn. So all the best. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amrit. And of course, tonight's grammarian, as you can see, we will be showcasing one of our handsome Toastmasters. He is a man who loves books. He is an avid reader, and when he feels bored, books give him the necessary boost. In case of panicking and consoling to his friends, it helps him a lot. A round of applause to our very own Toastmaster, Farouk.
Thank you, Freddie. Fellow Toastmasters and Gus, good evening. As a grammarian, I will be paying close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language and usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. Let me introduce the word of the day. The word for today's meeting, the word of the day is equilibrium, which means a state in which opposing forces or influences are balanced. I encourage every speaker to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian report at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Farouk. And of course, the judge for tonight for our all victory. It might be a failure or any recommendations. It will be honored one of our sweet and pretty boy Toastmaster. He's always ready as a Boy Scout. And aside from that, when he feels bored, he keeps himself busy by cooking, reading books, and streaming movies. And of course, attending Toastmasters with a complete package for staying home and safe. Ladies and gentlemen, our general evaluator tonight, no other than Toastmaster Suhan Abdul Munaf.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster today, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests around the world. Good evening, and I really welcome all of you to our Desert Pioneers meeting. As a general evaluator, my role is to observe the meeting from the beginning to the end, and then I'll be giving my report when I'm called upon. And also, I'll also have a set of role players like the grammarian, our counter, and also the speech evaluators who will help me along to give me the help me along to make the report as well. So let's hope for the best. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suhan. So, life is short. Do you believe in that? Let us always remember our life is full of challenges and all challenges. And sometimes you might say there's more blessings to come. And being a psychiatric nurse, I've found so many distinct therapies and avenues to win over the battle of everything that we are handling day by day. You win, you lose, you all have everything. And accordingly, health is wealth. How many times you've heard about these things? And there is more. The body is composed of many things, and all of us will find it learning what is an id, ego, and superego. Tonight we'll be talking about our mental health. Have you ever wondered vitamins and minerals for our mental health? You bought one box or anything from the pharmacy having these mental health vitamins and minerals? Haven't you? Well, I wonder. And have you ever sought learning things, managing, or even therapies if you are bored? Tonight is a special phase for all the pioneers. And according to Johari's window, there are 4 windows for us to build our trust as own personality. On the same manner, we have the open area. Tonight, we'll have the same manner of the prepared speech, something that will showcase based on our preparation and our performance. We're going to present, and of course, no hidden agenda. So to start with, are you ready, guys, for our first speaker? One giant in the pioneers whom I've seen when I was new, I was so scared to go near him. He might step on me and I will be smashed. That was I thought the first time I met him. He is a man who can manage his stressed out situation by thinking about idle man. Idle man is the devil's workshop. And he kept himself engaged by learning brand new ideas based on information technology. He is embarking his speech in motivational strategies, level 4, project number 1. But before that, before I will call him and introduce to you, let me call in his energetic evaluator to read the purpose of his speech. And let's welcome Toastmaster Arij Jaffer. Toastmaster Arij?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today I am going to evaluate Toastmasters Subish Menon for his pathway motivational. Just 1 second. Subish. The motivational strategies pathway, level 4, project 1. And your objective, Yasubish, is to practice the skills needed to motivate team members through the completion of a project. And you also need to share some aspects of your experience motivating team members through the completion of a project. Those are the objectives I am going to evaluate Toastmaster Supish based on, and I wish that all of you during the 1 minute of feedback to give him feedback related to those 2 objectives. And his speech title is The Invisible Team. His time, 5 to 7 minutes. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Arij. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, let us welcome the gigantic darling of the pioneers, Toastmaster Subismanan, with a speech title, The Invisible Team, Toastmaster Subismanan.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
How many of you here have worked in an invisible team? Well, I can see a lot of confused faces. Well, let me make it more clear. What do you mean by an invisible team? An invisible team is a team which knows its purpose, but the members doesn't know who are there. They are not aware of the team. So coming back to the question, how many of you have worked in such a team? And I can see a lot of no's, but frankly speaking, I had the privilege to work in such a team. So this is the story of an invisible team. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and all the wonderful guests here. Last year, this was the time for the XCOM elections. So for the people who doesn't know what is an XCOM, it is the committee which runs a Toastmasters club. So I was obviously geared up. I want to become a part of XCOM. But the issue was, I didn't know which role to take. So there were two questions basically with me. One was, if I not take the role, how it can improve my skills. So I decided to select the VPPR, which is Vice President Public Relations. And there I found a big challenge because we were already the PR champion the previous year. The VPPR the previous year had done a wonderful job, and it was initially I thought it would be a walk on the park, but it was not supposed to be. I proved to be wrong. And the second thing was I want to learn a lot of stuff as a VPPR, like creating videos, posters, and public relations, sponsorship, and stuff like that. So I decided to nominate myself as the VPPR. So I got elected, and then one of the most important days came, which was the oath-taking day. So let me all take you to that day. It was a busy day for me, obviously, but I thought I will not be able to make it. But somehow I managed in time and found that we didn't have the camera to take the photos. Being the PR champion, we needed to have it, obviously. So I was searching for it and found that I had to collect it from somewhere. So I ran to that place. And the moment I came back, to my utter surprise, the ceremony had already started. And I could see some 2-3 members who was not part of the XCOM. So obviously they were the proxies. But I didn't nominate any proxy. But again, the president-elect told me, okay, come Subish, join. I went all excited to the stage. And the election chair told me, it's okay, Subish, it's okay, you stay there, stay there. And to my surprise, I lost my equilibrium there. And I was shocked that I could not take the oath. And now you know, guys, you know why I was not able to do well as a VPPR. Jokes apart, the day came, the full XCOM was in action soon. And as a VPPR, I thought of a lot of things to do. Initially, I thought, okay, I need to create an invitation video, pre-invitation video, and then a post video showing all the highlights of the meeting. And also I need to do sponsorship, create posters, record all the speeches. So there are a lot of tasks to be done. So I was thinking whether I need to form a team or not. But again, I was confused whom to select and what to assign to people. So I went with the flow, okay, let it happen. And soon one meeting happened where the person who normally used to take the photos was not able to come. And also we didn't have any mobile to record. So I called the VP Education elect, Toastmaster Shiraz. I told him, Shiraz, do you mind giving your mobile, sharing your mobile for recording? So he told, why not, Subish? And can I also do the recording? I told, wow, that's great. Then he also added, do you want someone to take the photos? Toastmaster Riaz, who's the elect treasurer, can do it. I told, wow, that's a double treat for me. And soon, the next meeting, you will not believe, was one of the best meetings we had. A small PR team was formed. But let me tell you, my dear friends, that was the start of the year. Now we have reached almost the end of the year. Now, between this period where we had about, let's say, almost 12 months, there are a lot of members who came in, even other XCOM members and guests, old members, new members, all came in. They did their job and went back. No one knew what task they did, but the vision was there to make the club great. And believe me, over this time, we won a lot of awards. And in fact, our club has won the most number of PR awards this year. Now, this is, we didn't have any communication group. We didn't have any WhatsApp group. We didn't have any a common platform for communication, frankly, as a VPPR team, but the purpose was served. Now, I'm a team leader in my career, in my job. There I can actually see who the team members are. I can motivate them, I can inspire them or guide them. But here, I don't know who the team members are. So basically, they were all were self-motivated. So the question is, what motivated each one of them? It is a single vision they shared, a vision that their club should be the best in the world. Now, I believe this is one of the most important ingredients a team should have to achieve excellence. Now, this is a story of a team, of an invisible team, which became invincible. And I'm sure that over the years, this club, the new VPPR and other members, EXCO members, would take this club to more and more great heights. Wishing all of you all the best. Over Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. Of course, all of us are always certain. We are always certain of our own responsibility to take, and that makes us on our equilibrium. Our second speaker is one of our fine gems in the pioneers, a very relaxed and sweet spoken lady. Well, I believe you will agree with me. You may say yes, and you may say no. We're just being stricken with boredom, according to her, and realize she's stressed out. Simply, she take deep breaths and tries to calm down. And basically, she runs or even watch animated movie. Toastmasters and I will be showcasing her project. And before that, let us check for the main purpose of the speech. And one of the coolest Toastmasters in Kuwait will be evaluating Toastmaster Sanat. May we call in Toastmaster Muhammad Shiraz. Toastmaster Muhammad.
Thank you, TMOD. Toastmaster Freddy.
Yes, Shiraz, please speak.
Toastmaster Shiraz, are you there? Toastmaster Shiraz.
Toastmaster Shiraz seems to be having a connectivity issue. Is it possible to ask the speaker to read out the objectives so that we can continue?
Yes, yes, once again. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege.
Okay,
So,
so it's
can I
done.
start?
Okay.
Just please note that if Shiraz is not available, Rajesh will be the backup evaluator.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Sana Youssef, with her speech entitled Lighthouse of Life, let's welcome Toastmaster Sana Youssef.
Knowingly or unknowingly, we all have mentors in our life, right from the time of our birth till the end of our life. According to the Webster Dictionary, a mentor is someone who gives help and advice to a lesser experienced and often younger person. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and a warm welcome to all the guests present here. For the longest time in my life, I used to picture mentors as these annoying satellites that roam in your orbit and recite instruction manuals on how to behave, what to eat, how to eat it the right way, how to dress, how to think, everything. And after some introspecting, I came to the realization that in life, everyone's given a standard template of mentors that come in two categories: the defaults and the chosen. The default package will have your compulsory pair of parents, siblings, school teachers, and a few uncles and aunts. The chosen package were the people that you choose to learn from. So they could be your friends, your peers. Let me explain a little on each by giving my experience. My default package of mentors had my parents, who, like every other parent, wanted to see me succeed in life. But instead of forcing it on me, they taught me how to recognize what I'm good at and how I can sharpen those skills. During my school life, they never pressurized me to get good grades. And sometimes that would upset me because I think my parents were interested in my grades. But now I realize that it was their way of mentoring me into doing something for myself and not for anybody else. I topped all my classes and I did it for me because I realized I could do it. That was my first lesson ever, that you need to do something for yourself because that's the only way you'll pour your heart and soul into it. My default package had another mentor that I didn't realize at that time. She was my A-levels business teacher, and she was the calmest and the most optimistic lady I had ever met. Her personality was so contagious that she somehow programmed my brain into thinking positively and to always zoom out and look at the bigger picture. She taught me how to be resilient and to restore equilibrium in my life on my own. I didn't realize she had been secretly mentoring me into a better version of myself. It is now that I realize that these people are the ones who helped me give myself the power to be the best I can be. So I had to reevaluate my definition of mentors again and change the keyword from annoying satellites to omnipresent lighthouse. My chosen mentors, which is the second package, is all of you, the family that I've found in Toastmasters. And I don't say this to be nice. I really mean it. The first time I ever attended a Desert Pioneers meeting as a guest, Toastmaster Alan was a TMOD, and he was introducing the role players. And the way he spoke with such heavy confidence and a bounce in each step, I was mesmerized. And then I saw all the role players go up on stage and introduce themselves, and I was even more mesmerized. I wanted to speak like each and every one of them, the way they executed, the way they showed confidence, and the energy, the support I realized that I craved to be a part of that. So I joined. And since that day, who I am as a speaker is a result of all the members in the club. I've learned so much from each and every one of you. One taught me how to smile on stage more, while the other taught me how to attempt table topics despite having millions of reasons to flee the stage. And one person stood on the foreground, nudging me to take up slots, giving me loads of opportunities to prove myself, and showing me my strengths. That person is Toastmaster Anwar. And Toastmaster Anwar, thank you for constantly pushing me out of my comfort zone. My mentors, the ones I got by default and the ones I chose in my life, they have all been a lighthouse, a beacon of hope, steady in resolve, and shining in the direction that I'd be the best me. And the thing that they've all said in common is, let's do it together. Instead of saying, you know how to do it, you can do it on your own. And that's when you know that you've won the mentor lottery. In 20 years of my existence, I've been able to identify my mentors finally and learn how important they are. I can only hope that I can be capable enough someday to guide someone else the way I've been guided and shaped. There's a famous quote by Benjamin Disraeli, and he says, the greatest good you can do for another is not to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. And that's what every mentor in my life have done for me, is to reveal my untapped potential. And I'm forever grateful. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Freddie, you are muted.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. And of course, as we're saying, she's one of the gems of the Desert Pioneers. And we'll be giving 1 minute for our feedback, both 1 minute for Subish and 1 minute also for Sana. Sorry. You can send privately to both Subish and Sana. Toastmaster Sana and Toastmaster Subish. Now we can also vote for the best speakers. Okay, in our chat room, there's one form for everyone. Please If you could register yourself for this meeting, you just have to click these forms, and that's it. It's in our chat room, the Zoom group chat. Okay, so thank you very much for having this opportunity once more. You have just witnessed how do we look at the different windows as we told about the Juhavis window. And as we're going to view another window, we could open our eyes and check this out, the hidden spot. Things that we have known by, it's known by you, but unknown by the others. Yet something that we need to understand tonight, we will be having a panel of discussion. It's a different window in our program tonight, something to be performed, which will be considered as a beautiful sight, yet something that would come along the way. And one of the greatest and the youngest, bravest young lady will be hosting this segment. First, let me introduce her for the clear vision of her window when she is in a state of boredom. She states that connecting to your friends, hello, connecting to her friends and performing creative works could focus her senses to tracking back or taking a break before doing extensive moves. Tonight, let us welcome our panel, or the diva, shall I say, a diva of her own in the panel discussion. Toastmaster Soraya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Freddy, for that. I was actually booting up my presentation. Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to meet you all, and thank you for coming to our panel discussion. Can I please get to screen sharing available? Just a moment. All right. No? Screen sharing. Yeah. Yes, thank you. All right. Welcome everyone to a very, very special panel discussion called Clearing Stigmas. And this is dedicated to Mental Health Awareness Month. First of all, I'm Suraya Noor Fatima. So I'm going to be the panel moderator, and I'm welcoming you to hopefully also clear your stigmas if you have any, possibly stigmas from the society. Just a minute. I'm having technical issues. All right. Okay. So sorry about that. Now, first of all, you might be asking, what on earth is Mental Health Awareness Month and what is that green ribbon? Well, Mental Health Awareness Month is basically one whole month where we dedicate campaigns and activists come out, sharing posts, poetry, stuff like that in order to spread awareness about mental health and different mental disorders as well. However, what we'll be focusing on is clearing stigmas. Now, stigmas, if you don't know what they are basically what I would say as disgusting or rather unhelpful beliefs against certain people and certain things where you might lower them to an inhumane standard where you no longer see them as humans. And we may not know this, it's almost subconscious because the society perpetuates this in our movies, in our culture and whatnot. And today we're going to clear them because I too have subconscious stigmas. And through this, I was able to clear it, and hopefully you will also be able to clear it as well. Disclaimer before we move on, there will be some sensitive topics. So please be aware on that. Next, we will be having a Q&A session, yes, after the panel discussion is completely over. And this Q&A session, you might be asking, how on earth are you going to be sending in your questions? Well, you see your little Zoom application, you have to go over there, click on it, let it drop down and choose my name, Suraya, moderator, discussion moderator, and send in your questions throughout the session so that I can keep a track of them. And at the very end, I'll be relaying those questions to our panelists. Who are our panelists? Like, I haven't even introduced them. Well, first up, we have counseling psychologist Anaga Madhusan. Please help me welcome Anaga Madhusan. Welcome. She will be our first panelist, and she's actually from Bahrain. She works at Your Dost, which is an online counseling app. And our next panelist is based in Kuwait, and she is a school counselor at Indian Community School, Kuwait. Kavita Sarvesh. Please help me welcome Kavita Sarvesh. Now, she's a clinical psychologist, so that's very interesting. Next, unfortunately, our final panelist was unable to make it due to storm and bad weather, but she is Ananya Saikia. She's a psychotherapist, and she graduated from Harvard. Unfortunately, she can't come, but I still do appreciate her work as a psychotherapist. And of course, you have me, the moderator, in case you forgot. Now, let's begin. First, here's my story on stigmas. You see, growing up, I didn't have that much information on what it meant to be mentally healthy, because I grew up as one, a lone child. Number two, I was a prodigy child. And unfortunately, that comes with quite a few restrictions. Growing up, I felt like showing emotion was a weakness. And with some issues along the way, I wasn't able to trust people. And when I got lazy during high school, I thought that, there's something wrong with me. And people pointed that out, which I absolutely hated. Now picture this. I've slept in my room for so long that I can't remember a day I woke up with a smile on my face. There's garbage piling up in my room, piles of laundry lying on the floor, sweat on my skin and hair in tangles. I can't push my body to get out of this bed. My body feels too heavy to even breathe. So I wait, appetite lost under the clothes on my chair, for the sun to set. The sadness sets in and it pierces my body, heart aching to feel the touch of happiness. I pray for the sunshine to bless me in my room that I'm caged in, and whisper affirmations of good times to come. I pray as the sadness suffocates my heart and I let my eyes cry again. I cry, I cry, I cry, and pray that my tears fill up my room, and hope not for the elusive tomorrow, but for eternal sleep to end my suffering. Yes, this is very sad, but if you know anything about mental health, you might know that this is a severe episode of depression. So I would like to ask our panelist, Anaga, can you tell us what depression is exactly? Anaga? Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You good to go?
Please hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
audible and visible, right? Okay. All right. Depression. Now, we are going to break the bubble and also some myths that's always surrounded by it. I think today, the people who are present here are the ones who have definitely heard the word depression long their way. Now, let me help you understand what a depression is like or a depressive episode looks like. It's a common mental health concern that negatively affects people about the way they think and how they act. Fortunately, the good news is that it's always addressed as something of a great concern, and it is, but it is also treatable. Now, depression, now let's see what does it look like. It depends on the severity of this mental health concern. And there are different types in it, but let's just look at what you and me can understand today. If you're feeling sad or generally just having a depressed mood, until you talk to someone and know what it is actually like, you don't know if you're suffering from depression or just having a bad day. Many a times, I've had clients who come up to me and say, I had a bad day today. I'm just feeling a little low. And they assume that they are depressed. On the other hand, I have had people who have had signs like loss of interest or pleasure in activities that they once enjoyed, changes in their appetite accompanied by, say, weight loss, or they have had trouble sleeping, difficulty thinking, concentrating, so many of these things, but they don't know what they're experiencing is depression. So, depression is not just feeling low for a day or two. I am going to burst that bubble by saying it's much, much more than that. Having a lazy day is definitely not depression. I'm sure when Suraya was going through her depressive episodes, it definitely would have been people saying, Hey, why are you being lazy? What's wrong with you? Come on, get started, get some exercise. I'm sure everything will be fine. Trust me, depression is much more than this. So today, we are here to bring more light upon what depression is and also let you know it's not something you need to be afraid of. It's something, if we are educated about, me and you together could help so many people and ourselves who are going through this.
Thank you so much, panelist Anaka. That was so good. Speaking about the common stigmas that come up when we talk about depression, I think the most widespread one is you're just lazy, which is quite insulting, to be honest, when at least for me, when I pump out so much work to be done. But it makes me think, panelist Kavita, what do you think about all these different stigmas that surround depression, which are so heavy and plague our lives? What do you think about it? What are your thoughts and feelings?
So, talking about, okay.
Yeah, go. You can do it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Suraya. Yeah. And talking about the stigmas, which is very, very common, and there is always an apprehension in the minds of people that talking about depression or talking about I am not feeling okay or something abnormal or something different is happening with me is a taboo. It is considered, still people are considering that talking about it is not okay. But let me tell you, times are changing. People are becoming aware, and people want to take up actions. giving you examples like talking about celebrities as well. They are owning up to being depressed. And most of all, the wonderful part of the entire persona is when people take up action with reference to it. Uh, Being depressed is not something bad. It is definitely not something bad. It is something to be acted upon. Same way as if we take it in the form of an example, just like when we get up in the morning and we know that we have to brush our teeth, we know that we have to take a bath, we know that we have to go to office. Similarly, we act upon these things and we take initiative. So the first step towards depression is taking an initiative to act upon it. Over to you.
Thank you so much, panelist Kavita. That was honestly wonderful. And I too agree, the first step to depression is acting on it. And the stigmas is just honestly quite heart-wrenching, because when you attach those stigmas, it's those stigmas that stopped me from seeking the help that I needed so desperately. Stigmas stop you. It doesn't help anyone, especially with something that the WHO, the World Health Organization, considers the common cold of the mental health world. Depression is widespread, but it doesn't mean that it's something abnormal. Now, what about another thing? Come, picture this. I sit huddled up in a room and I feel my heart is about to burst. All the air in my lungs has escaped and people are telling me, just breathe, breathe, breathe. But I can't breathe. Can't you see that I can't breathe? Everything is suffocating me. My brain says, don't fear, don't fear. And then it starts screaming, fear, 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 fear. There's this, there's that, there's everything to fear. Why? I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me. My brain is going crazy. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. My heart hurts, but there's no air in my lungs. And they keep telling me to breathe, 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 breathe. I can't breathe. Fear is enveloping me. Someone help me. My stomach wants to leave and run away from my body, and I don't know what to do. Someone help. Does this sound like exam stress? Well, what if I told you that sounds a lot like anxiety? Now, what is anxiety? Panelist Anaga, what do you think is anxiety?
Thank you, Soraya. So this is one of my favorite topic, anxiety. So anxiety, let me put it this way, okay? You have a lot of stress, me and you have a lot of stress in our daily lives. It's nothing but a feeling of fear. And if it's accompanied by an apprehension about what is to come. We know that the future is not under our control, but yet sometimes we feel the need to take control over it. I'm sure we all have gone through this journey, isn't it? The first day of our school, going to a job interview, or even say giving speeches. All this actually causes a lot of anxiety and nervousness among a lot of people. Now, let me help you understand better. All of us experience anxiety at some or the other point in our lives. And anxiety, again, is not bad. Some amount of anxiety is definitely good because it's going to help you do better in your life. Now, when does it get to a point where you know you need to seek help? When you experience those symptoms that Soraya just spoke about. You're crippled with so much fear, you don't know what's happening to you. all that you know is your heart beats fast, your breathing is not normal, and you feel everything around you is just collapsing. This is when you need to know you need to seek help. Do you know that anxiety is so common? It is so common. But are we aware of it? That's my question. There are different types of anxiety. Now, I don't want to get into those lines, but let me highlight about my experience with anxiety. I too have gone through anxiety in my life. Now, was I clinically diagnosed or not? That's not the question. Whatever little discomfort I went through, I knew that I needed help. Now, come on, it doesn't mean that if I am a therapist, I'm less of a human. The same way, hey, come on, you're not alone. It's okay to feel anxious. But remember, if you feel it's something that you are not able to handle on your own, that's exactly when you need to seek help. So remember, anxiety is not bad, and it's much more than just feeling nervous just before you're going to meet a person for the first time, just before you are going to write your exam. Certain amount of anxiety, like I said, is okay. And something beyond it is also okay. But just know that you can always seek help. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Anaga. As we are approaching our time, I would love to, of course, talk about therapy and the stigmas surrounding therapy. And of course, we'll be doing this in a little bit brief, but I would love for just the panelists to talk about what therapy they do in their sessions, and what basically destigmatizing the whole essence of therapy. The fact that therapy isn't actually only for insane people, as I've seen quite often. People assume that if you go to therapy, you must be insane, which just isn't the case. And of course, I'm going to show that to you all by of course, by asking our panelists. First up, we have Kavita Sarvesh. Now, she is actually a school counselor in ICSK. So I would love to know, in her private sessions, what exactly she does, as in what method she employs, and basically her story on why the whole stigma around therapy is just, it's not helpful at all. So, Ms. Kavita, can you please tell us?
Thank you, Suraya. Just to brief it up, actually, therapy is something which helps you, in fact, everyone. And you need not be abnormal to take up a therapy session. And it is not like there's a doctor sitting and a client sitting and we're just talking. No, it's not like that. It's more of a chit chat session where the client feels comfortable enough to talk and do certain things. It's more of a fun exercise so that the client feels relaxed and de stressed. I'll just give you, for example, like the kind of relaxation techniques, like the muscle relaxation techniques of tensing and releasing. The amount of, yes, the amount of de-stress it causes to you, the amount of happiness it causes to you, you just can't imagine unless and until you've done it yourself. So therapy is a fun session where you just open up to a neutral person who gives you more of an objective view. Over to you, Suraya.
Thank you so much, Kavita. I will be coming back to you since you're also a school counselor. I would love to know your view on children. But before that, since we have mostly adults here, I think they would like to know a different type of therapy, a therapy where you don't have to actually go to the therapist in real life and meet them. It's a therapy that I also currently go through called distance therapy, but it's also known as online therapy, something that our panelist Anaga is actually doing currently. So, Anaga, can you tell us, what is it that you do in your sessions, and just break it down to how normal the people you encounter are, and the fact that they're not really insane or inhumane in any way?
Thank you, Soraya. So let me ask, how would it be to have a person who lets you know that this is a safe space? You are not going to be judged or labeled. In fact, we together are going to work on this. I'm sure it feels great, right? That's exactly how therapy works. Now, coming on to the online therapy, because that's what I've been doing, I must really say the kind of difference we can make to people's life does not stop by the method we use our therapies in. Now, online therapy, it is so much accessible to people. We just spoke about stigma, right? I'm going to stick to my topic, but just adding on, we know that for people, sometimes their identity is very important. Or say, letting someone know that I'm going for therapy is something that is not easy for them. Now, when we are working on an online platform, we can ensure that their identity is anonymous. Now, tell me, how amazing do you feel when you know that your identity is not revealed, but at the same time, your method is never compromised? You're getting the equal amount of help that you will get when you are seeking a face to face session. There is no compromise on it. And it's unbelievable that I have had about 3,000 odd conversations with my clients and helped about 800 of them in the past 2 years. So imagine how much you can reach, the reach that we can get through an online therapy. It's unbelievable because people no more fear that someone's going to watch them, someone will know that they're going for therapy, because there's so much more than what we know around mental health concerns. So it's brilliant because a lot of people are coming up and seeking help. In fact, I was taken aback when I stepped into the online platform. I didn't know that so many people would actually come forward. But I must tell you, there are so many people, so many people, they are so open to seek help, especially when they know that their identity is not compromised. So, being anonymous, we know as long as the stigma is not broken, it's something that you can give a lot of reassurance to your clients about. Hey, you're not going to be judged or labeled, but we can work through this. So this is my experience with online therapy, letting people know that you're not going to compromise on anything. You will just get the help that you will be getting when you're going to go for a face-to-face session. It's the same, and it's brilliant. Over to you.
Thank you, panelist Anaga. Of course, I wanted to also talk a little bit about therapy when it comes to kids, therapy, or just help when it comes to kids. My experience is that when I was young, doctors didn't really take me seriously. They assumed that I was going through adolescence and all my anxieties and depression came from that and that alone. Which was very frustrating. It was so frustrating that I had to wait until I was 18 and I was in India, until I was 18 to go myself and get a proper diagnosis. And the only reason I did so much for something that should not be this hard to get is that no one took my pain and anguish seriously. And it was after I got that diagnosis that people were like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. that I invalidated all your pain and suffering. So I would like to ask, Ms. Kavita, since she does work with children, she's a school counselor, what is her experience with, helping children, helping kids, and probably also helping the parents understand where the kids come from? Over to you.
Thank you, Surya. It's a very interesting question that you've raised, and very important to know that as a school counselor, see, counseling with adults is a little different, but on the same page with the children, also the first and the foremost requisite for being a good counselor is to lend your ears. And it's very important to listen first to the client, despite of whatever age the person is, age bracket the person belongs to. It's very important that we listen to what the person is saying, not at the first go try to judge the person or interpret as such. Just plain and simple, listen and make a note of it in your mind. Do not make any notes, written notes, because that will be taken care of in later sessions. And in order to set up a rapport with the client, here in case I'm talking about the school children, it's very important to build up a rapport first. It will be through one's glare, the eye contact one maintains with the children, the kind of participation or the involvement we as counselors have with children. We go to their classes and we talk to them at their level. So it's not like I'm a counselor and those are children or they are my clients. No, not like that. It is like I am also a part of them. I'm just an extension of them. So I might have undergone the similar kind of feelings. So probably I would understand what you're saying. So this is the prerequisite for any kind of approach one needs to take in whatever setup, whether it's with adults or with children or any. I mean, you can take any kind of segmentation for that matter. So another thing that I would like to bring to your notice is when you were talking about breathing. See, breathing, as in case of anxiety, we always say, okay, go slow with your breathing, try to take deep breath. But let me tell you one important thing, that slowing down one's breath may not work for every person. It is different. Every individual is different. Every individual is unique. So what may work for you may not work for the other person. What may work for the other person may not work for you. So every person is individual, unique human being. And that is how we should be looking at them before we start talking.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It's the first time seeing a counselor, a school counselor, say that, because most school counselors don't talk about this. I know I never got this prep session when I was in school. I really hope that I could. But now I also hope that we do have some school counselors in this meeting that hopefully can also speak up and give that solidarity, that support that the students really do need. Trust me, as a former student, that will help them so much. Please reach out to your students and please also empathize with them. What about, my therapy sessions, like what I feel, my story, as we slowly end this? For me, at least, I don't know what better way to tell you just how amazing therapy has been, other than just this. I'm able to live and experience life better than I would without having gone to therapy. That is just, it's a fact. That's just how it is. And the thing is, to everyone outside, before I went to therapy, I was doing great. No one thought that something was going on, but only I knew that the castle was crumbling and it was about to fall down. I was okay on the surface, but that didn't mean I shouldn't go to therapy. So I bit the bullet. I went to therapy. And before anyone assumes anything, this was in fact online therapy. I first went and met them, and now it's distance therapy. And I can tell you by the fact that I'm here right now and I'm doing this, that I'm happy, I'm smiling, there's serotonin rushing in my body. I feel joy and happiness, and my mental health is doing great, all because I decided to not listen to the stigma and go to therapy. And I hope that you all as well don't invalidate your pain, don't invalidate your feelings. Go for it. Don't listen to the stigmas, clear them from your head so that your mental health is just as great as your physical health. Of course, we can't stop or end this panel discussion without questions, Q&A segment. So our first question, I'll give it to Ms. Kavita, our panelist Kavita. So this question states that how to deal with someone who is going through depression. As a friend who is far away, what can be said to that person to let them know we are with them, and what to say that would make them feel better? What are the things that should be avoided?
Thank you, Suraya. That's an interesting question and very intrigued as well, and a very commonly asked question, because the moment you start talking to a person who is at a distance and not right in front of you, you assume that you cannot see the expressions of the other person. So, what makes a difference is the pitch and the tone that you are talking in. And that has to be very, very comforting and something to convey that I'm there for you. So don't worry, you just don't have to worry. We are going to be through with this. It will pass, it'll just pass. So, this is the first comfort level which we have to reach with anybody whom we are talking to as a case of depression. Apart from that, what we need to avoid is a direct encroachment, in the sense that you might have done this. So, pointing out to a client is the biggest disaster that we can do. So, we need to avoid any kind of confrontation, direct confrontation with any client. And at the same time, it's very important to take the first step to reach out to the counselor. Before I end up my conversation here for this particular question, I would just like to add on, just like my fellow panelist, Anaga, is doing your toast, our school. And in our school, we have also started online teletherapy, where counselors can be approached by parents, by teachers, and where they can be counseled, particularly considering the times that we all are in today, the crisis, the corona crisis. So we've started this as an initiative in our school. Over to you.
Thank you so much, panelist Kavita. One last question. Ram says that he has a question. So,
Yes,
Ram, yes,
yes,
please.
I'm very much available. I believe that anybody can answer the question. Um, we we know there are types of child abuse. My question is, there could be negligence, physical, emotional, or sexual. 1 in 7 children, there is some way or the other, children are getting abused. So my question to the panelist is how we can recognize what we can do to prevent and where we can report child abuse children. how we can recognize the child was abused, where and how to prevent, where we can report the child abuse. Because we don't know, first of all, the child is getting abused, but he goes into depression, doesn't talk, doesn't eat. Any opinion? We appreciate your opinion, whatever it is. Thank you.
Would any of the panelists like to take this, or?
I think I can kind of go and probably touch upon whatever I can, and I would also seek Kavita's help with it.
This is the final question, so that's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So it was DTM.
It's okay, Ram.
Ram.
Yeah, Ram, right? Right. Ram, so just addressing your question. Now, how do we prevent, right? How do we prevent child sexual abuse or abuse in any form? I think everything begins with educating your children, right? Now, here, the tricky part is about the age. Now, it's not easy to sit down a 2 or 3 or 5 year old to let them know what exactly all this is like. So that's very tricky. But there is a way that you can always give them information about, say, we always talk about good touch and bad touch, and you could do it in your own ways, like the comfort that parents have, use it. For children, it's all about, you could explain to them by sort of a role play, or say through some pictures. That does not directly address the issue, because for someone who's really small, they will not be able to understand. But in whatever way, educating them is very important. I think that's the first basic step. Second, what I want to add on is, I think we need to watch out for what kind of signs they show. So I think, don't ever, if your child is approaching you and trying to say something, as a parent, please be there for the child. Listen carefully before you're going to brush it aside. Children, they can't articulate, isn't it? We know that, like, children who are really small, they cannot. But with whatever they are trying to say, we need to understand what they're trying to communicate, for which I think parents being educated and informed about this is extremely important. So I think everything begins from educating the children, the parents knowing about it. Watch out for whatever signs. Watch out on your kids very closely to know if they're going through something, and always have a rapport with them. It's very important. As a parent, you need to always have a friendly rapport with your child, so that they know they can come and tell you anything and everything. That's important. And now I think I will be taking Kavita's help to just add on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hanaga. It's a very important and a relevant question, and no doubt. The only thing that I want to stress upon is the kind of rapport which already Anaga has said. Before we talk about the education of the child, it's very important that there is a rapport set between the child and the parent, where the child fearlessly can approach the parent. Especially I'm talking about the mother, the relationship that a child shares with the mother. So there are a few important people in a child's life which have to be time and again told about to the child: the teacher, the mother, in the first and the foremost case, then the school teacher, the counselor. These are certain people that the child should be aware of, whom he or she can reach out to. That would prevent the abuse to some extent. And post abuse, it's very important that the parent needs to have the right contacts and should be knowing as to whom to approach first about the crime done. So I guess, Dityam Ramkumar, we've been able to satisfy your query. That's all.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Ram, for that really important question. Thank you for asking. It was a much needed question. So I would like to end just with this little thing. Mental health is just as important as physical health. So take care of yourself like you would care for your loved ones. Please, I beg of you. Because when you take care of yourself, I'm telling you, your loved ones will flourish just like you. Your mental well-being is their mental well-being. Thank you so much for coming to this wonderful, wonderful panel discussion. And over to, of course, our superstar Toastmaster of the day, Freddie.
Thank you very much once again. And of course, this is very important time for everyone. Talking
Just for a
about
moment.
Okay.
Just for a moment, Freddie. So sorry. If you have any questions, we'll be leaving our Instagram handle in the chat. So make sure to ask the questions there so that we can answer you on our Instagram stories. So go follow us. We'll link it and we'll answer your questions if you still have any more, because I don't want to leave any questions unanswered. So I'm sure either our VP Education or VPPR will leave the Instagram handle in the chat. Over to you, back to you, Freddie. So sorry about that.
No worries. Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you very much for having all. Yes, thank you for that clearance and everything. It was discussed in detailed aspect. When we talk about depression, we talk something. It is really nice. As we have said, we have this hidden spot. We have the blighted spot open. Everything is just a personality showing. And of course, thank you for making us one and connected once again with this panelist, especially to our guest, the Anaga. Am I correct? Am I correct with this pronunciation? And also our guest Kavita. Thank you for having us and for having you in our meeting tonight. And once again, we would like to invite you to please answer our link, which is in our chat room. And please open your camera if you don't mind. We will be having a picture taking for the group so we can have a souvenir. Can I ask for that? If you can open all your cameras, please. Okay, so things that are unknown. What you talk about, it seems like nobody knows what is unknown. But there's a certain point that you need someone to tell you what angles you can perceive in your daily lives. So at this moment, may we call in the general evaluator for us to see our blended side and our blinded side. Help me welcome Toastmaster Suhan, Toastmaster Abdul Suhan, Abdul Munaf, Suhan Abdul Munaf for our general evaluator.
All right. Thank you so much, superhero. I'm back. Okay. So now, welcome to general evaluation session. So as I said, I was evaluating from the beginning to the end. Before I come to my last report, I would like to call my role players to help me give me some more reports on the speeches and also on the T tags. I mean the grammarian counter report, what they have observed till now. So now I would like to call my speech evaluators who are going to evaluate the speeches of the prepared speeches speakers, the target speakers of them. So please help me welcome the first target speaker, that is Toastmaster DTM Arif Jaffer. And kindly note your time is for 2 to 3 minutes. So DTM Arif Jaffer, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suhan. and good evening to everyone, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Subish. What an amazing speech after very long time from seeing you delivering a speech. That was a really good and lovely speech you have delivered. Let me remind everyone about the objectives that I have evaluated you based on, and then I will go through my evaluation. So it was asked from you to practice the skills needed to motivate team members through the completion of a project and to share some aspect of your experience motivating team members through the completion of a project. First of all, you did a great job when you have chose to talk about the PR role, which is what you are doing now at DBTMs as the VP PR for the club. You did a great job. Your strength points that you have started with a question and an unexpected question. And this is something I always encourage everyone to do in their speeches. Don't ask just a normal question that everyone will know what to answer. Just ask something that's unexpected. And you left us confused, wondering what he will say next. So this was one of the strength points. I loved how you mentioned about the invisible team and all the things, the process you have done during this year and how they were there. They helped you and they were with you to help you through all the events and all the time with your role as the VPPR. Whatever you have described, I felt that we were there with you and we were at that moment when you had all this experience with your team. Now, the point that you need to improve yourself with, since this is a level 4 project, so I will be a little bit tough with you. Okay? You were mentioning, for example, Toastmaster Shiraz. You have mentioned VB elect Toastmaster Shiraz or VB or Treasurer elect Toastmasters Riaz. Those VB elect and Treasurer elect, we have a lot of guests. They won't understand you. So it's better to remove the titles and just say Toastmaster Shiraz or Toastmasters Riyaz. This will be more effective and this will not take from your time of the speech and from the things that you have prepared. Remove the titles because you are trying to encourage everyone, you are trying to give them what they need. Also, your speech was organized, but I felt it was some points you were forgetting something. So try to have it more organized with less of points. Overall, I was expecting you to motivate them to do better and to do more with you, but you have delivered an amazing speech. Thank you so much. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Arid Jaffer, for the allowed your virtual display. So now moving on to the next speech evaluator, that is Toastmaster Shiraz Muhammad. He will evaluate his target speaker, Toastmaster Sana Yusuf. So Toastmaster Shiraz Muhammad, your time is for 2 to 3 minutes and stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suhan. And who doesn't like to stay on top of a lighthouse? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am the evaluator for Sana's today's speech on the topic of the lighthouses of my life. Let me start my evaluation by saying it is an amazing title. I mean, you are very good at picking up your speech titles. I mean, remember the last time I heard your speech regarding leaderships and you taught us through Aladdin's story. It was wonderful. We have to make sure that when picking up a title, it has to be catchy and it has to connect with, the speech has to connect with each and every person who is attending your speech. Most of us has mentors, but we do not know that the mentoring us, or we do not know the real meaning of mentoring. After your speech, we all understood we need a mentor in our life. It is easy for you to collect data at this, because this is a personal story. You can tell people that this has happened in your life. What I really like about the speech is how you have presented it. You have revealed us that there are many mentors in our life, which we do not know. You have broken the speech into two parts: the unchosen mentors, the default package, and the chosen mentors. You have grabbed the attention of the audience at the beginning and close with a dynamic ending. With a Benjamin distress quote, the greatest good you can do for another, not to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own talents. I apologize for the technical glitch. One of your purpose of the speech is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. I feel if you can elaborate this in detail in your speech, as this is one of your objectives. And your second objective, you have achieved excellently that by saying your experiences. Hats off to you. What you can work up on is you can use a bigger stage, a space. So your speech has to be in standing mode. So you'll be good in stage movements. Actions speak louder than words. Never know. Soon we may go on our podiums and speak. And also challenge yourself in adding a little bit of humor in your speech. So people's more attention will be there. People love to laugh and attracted by in a humorous way, so you can pass your message easily. You did a great job. Great speech, Sana. And I feel that you are going excellent on your Pathways project. I really mean it. We all mesmerized it. We are mesmerized. Keep it up. All the best for Toastmasters journey. To you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shiraz, for your wonderful evaluation. And now I would like to call the grammarian, who is going to give his grammarian report. And let's see how the meeting has been in the equilibrium. I see the word of the day.
Thank you, TM Sohan.
Your time is for 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you, TM Sohan. I will focus on the two prepared speakers. Subish did a great job. He used the word of the day once, and he had very good idioms. He used some of the idioms like walk on the park and went with the flow. So it was overall a very interesting speech. When it comes to Sana, an amazing speech it was, and she used the word of the day equilibrium once, and she used the word resilience, and I found it very interesting, because actually we should declare this as our word of these times, resilience. And very interesting expressions from Sana, like omnipresent lighthouses, annoying satellites, and beacon of hope. And especially her use of the quote from Benjamin Disraeli was very interesting. Overall, that was an amazing speech, and that's it from my end. Over to you, TM Sohan.
Okay, thank you so much for your wonderful report on grammarian. So we had two wonderful speech evaluations and the grammarian report as well. And now I would like to call all of you to vote for the best evaluator, that includes the speech evaluators and the grammarian. But before that, I would like to know from the timer, Did all these speech evaluators and the grammarians qualify for voting?
Hi, General Evaluator. Uh, Toastmaster Shiraz took 3 minutes 46 seconds. So unfortunately, he did not qualify. And the grammarian took 1 minute exactly. So the minimum time is 2 minutes. So it's up to you now if you want to add or not about the
Well, then,
grammarian.
what do we do? So let's
In
have
this case, there's only one person who is qualified, and that is the first evaluator,
okay.
who took 3
So
minutes 15 seconds. She's qualified.
she's qualified. So let's declare her as the winner, as the best evaluator. So DTM Ari Jaffer is the best speech evaluator. So because so she has qualified. Oh my God! Look at her, how cute she became. Okay. So now I would like to call our next role play, that is the R counter. So let's see how many R's and how many has counted from us. So Toastmaster Ampu Kadun, the floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator.
The time is 2 minutes. So the floor is yours now.
Thanks for the time. I'd like to share my screen. Yes. So today's R counter report goes this way. We had our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Freddy, with 5 hours, and his filler word was okay. So every time he was, using okay as his filler word. Our timer, Toastmaster Alan Paul, he had absolutely 0 hours and nothing, really nothing as his filler word. And our grammarian, Toastmaster Mohammed Farooq, who is relatively a new member, he had 3 hours and he didn't have any filler words, none of them. Our general evaluator, Toastmaster Suhan Munaf, he had 5 hours and his filler words were so and okay. You won't find okay there, but he was using okay a bit of time. Then we have our first evaluator, DTM Arij Jaffer. She used 3 hours during the entire meeting, and she didn't have any filler words. Our second evaluator, Toastmaster Shiraz Muhammad, had 5 hours, and his filler word was like. Our first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Subish Menon, he had 4 hours, and again his filler word also was like. And our last speaker of the day, Toastmaster Sana Yusuf, she also had no hours and no filler words as well. That's all about my report. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrit. Your our counter report was really amazing. But moreover, I would like to say it was dangerous because this is the only role that you get in this in the Toastmasters meeting, that you have to listen so carefully and you observe every speaker who comes on the stage and you catch their filler words and the ahs and ums. Wow, it was really amazing and this was really fun. And I really insist members to take this role to to learn and have fun with this. And this is what we really do in the Toastmasters meeting. So now I have to come to my report where I have to tell how did I feel this meeting about. But moreover, if you ask me how it was, I would say this meeting was amazing, refreshing, and something, it was quite an eye-opening meeting that I had really not been to any time in my life. So I hope all of you have experienced the same as I did. So let me tell you what are the good things that I have observed today. So number one, first thing, that is the time, that we started on time and we are almost going with the flow of time. Secondly, the meeting was opened by the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Alina. She welcomed everyone, and also she has clearly stated her ground rules and the mission statement that what we are here for this meeting. Then she handed over the stage to the president, who was Toastmaster Amrit. He welcomed all the members wholeheartedly, and also I like the way he has given a brief presentation to, to let all the members and the guests especially to know what is this Toastmasters Club really all about and what we do here exactly. Moving on, the stage was given to the host, who is known as the Toastmaster of the day, the Toastmaster Freddie. He's actually a nurse by profession, but so that's why I look up to him always, as he's a superhero, and currently he's fighting this COVID-19 disease, and also he's in a big situation where all of us are not there yet, but I'm really praying for him that he comes out of it soon as possible, and we all pray that we all also come out of this situation as soon as possible. Then we had all the role players introduction, which was wonderfully done by the Toastmaster itself, and then moving on, we had the great speeches given by our two good speakers, that is Toastmaster Subish and Toastmaster Sana. Then we had a good speech evaluators giving their good feedback, and I hope that they all take it well. And before that, we had a panelist session that was well handedly taken over by Toastmaster Suraya Noor Fatima, along with the two of our guests, as a Toastmaster, Anaga Madhusudan, and also I guess Kavita Sarvesh. I mean, I really enjoyed a lot listening to both of you, and it was really a nice eye-opening session, and I really enjoyed a lot, and it was something that I learned, and we must do something in our life, and also to this generation, also to our coming generation, and to other coming generations by generations, and it's something that we all must take a lead and do it. So that's what I'm really thankful about, and overall I enjoyed a lot. But so lastly, just let me come to the few things that we should really improve on. That is, there were some few little distractions, but I won't call that distraction. It was automatic applause that was really, trying to uh, keep this meeting on the same with this platform. But somewhere I feel we were a little distracted by it. But what I have seen is that some of the speakers, they did not get distracted at all. So let's try not to get distracted anywhere, anytime. And somewhere we just forgot few things, then that is normal, that asking for 1 minute feedback, and yeah, somewhere we missed few things here and there because we were quite excited about this meeting, and but this happens. So that's but we as leaders, we all always learn from mistakes and always come out of it, and we always here to learn and also make things possible. So overall, it was an amazing meeting, and I hope all of you who are present here have enjoyed a lot. And I wish to see you all here again in our next coming meeting. So hereby I end my report, and I hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Freddie Taiwan, our superhero. A big round of applause to him.
Thank you very
Toastmaster
much,
Freddie.
Toastmaster. Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Suhan, for making this possible for everyone to look upon. We might have taken our own different windows of our own, but in one window, we call it the unknown side. And ladies and gentlemen, we know you might feel bored when you will be hearing about this early childhood till our maturity. I just want to get some conclusion for this. This is according to Eric Erikson. These are the developmental stage which started from the very beginning when we start hope between the trust and mistrust when we were young. And autonomy and shame comes in as a product of the will, the purpose, with the initiative and guilt, competence. This is between industry and inferiority. Likewise, in the fidelity or the identity and confusion, it leads us to have that love, making an intimacy versus isolation. Now, talking about generativity is something that we have that care for everyone. It means there's stagnation or generativity. And lastly is when we get mature, there's a kind of wisdom. Whatever it takes between integrity and despair, it depends on our hope from the very beginning till we develop our own wisdom. Now, we have on this edge, and I am happy to serve you as the Toastmaster of today. I hope that everybody, you have a pleasant and our mind and body are in equilibrium. When we can maintain what we want, what our superego or conscience says, and our body. This would make us successful, having a homeostasis of our own lifestyle and personality. And as far as Toastmaster International is concerned and the Desert Pioneers, we are here to support one another and to finally be in that process. Have a happy mind all the time, mind and body unity, mental awareness, and healthy living. Have a good night, and back to you, Mr. President Amrit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Freddy, for pulling off this open house such a wonderful way. And great thanks to Toastmaster Suraya as well for handling that much awaited panel discussion session in a beautiful way. Loved both of your support. I mean, you guys pulled it off really well. And thanks each and every one of you who attended our meeting today. We Desert Pioneers Toastmasters, our club, are actually having, we are lucky to have a greater reach to the audience out there. Today, as the president of the club, I feel so proud and happy that we were able to take up such a socially relevant topic as the theme of this open house meeting and become a reason to break stigmas related to mental health and bring awareness to the society. Today, we had an attendance of more than 100 members. Yes, today was one of the biggest meeting we had in numbers, guys. Yes, we would actually love to hear a feedback about the meeting from all of you. If you could register yourself in the link provided in the chat window, we will be providing all the details about the meeting, and probably you can ask us more questions as well so that we can reach out to you through your email. You can also respond to us through our Instagram handle, which is also given in the chat window. However, it would be great to hear from some of you at least verbally now. So can I have a feedback from some of our esteemed guests? Can I have some hands raised who would like to share their feeling about attending today's meeting, how they felt?
Yes, President Amrit, am I allowed to talk?
Yes, please. DTM Ram.
Thank you. Always pleasure to join in a last moment. And I had a cream actually. If I have to say, really, the icing, the decoration, the art, the fun, the taste, the flavor, the stigma. Oh my God! I become a now better speaker, I think. Commendable, outstanding, fabulous.
Thank
And
you,
the panelists were so good. that the timing, well organized, meticulously planned, and the audience were actually glued with the information, what the quality of information they have given to the panel discussion. And the moderator was really Surai she was well prepared, well organized. And credit goes to Anaga and Kavita. Kavita, I know her. She was, a psychologist. I have listened to her many speeches in South Kuwait Toastmasters, but she was very solo. Now I think she will sharpen her skills, engaging with us and motivating us. Well, finally, I have to say something. Where is that energy coming from during the curfew? Why
Sorry.
don't you share? Where is that energy coming during the curfew? People are lacking energy. No, you are so energetic, so passionate. All of you guys, members, and you're rocking. You know, you are a legend now. More than 100 runs and unbeaten. Kudos, wonderful, really thrilling. Thank you very much.
Thank you for supporting us attending all our meetings. Now,
God
can I
bless you
hear
all.
it from some of our guests who are known Toastmasters? Actually, we have one of the guests, Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Gaurav, you're with us. Gaurav was introduced by our own CGT, GTM Alka. I think he is not online. Well, I would like to hear the experience of our panelists. We had two beautiful panelists who are experts in this field, who are practicing psychologists. So, yes, Toastmaster Anagha would love to hear feedback attending this open house today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrit. And I think I should begin by thanking Toastmaster Suraya for giving me this opportunity. And I think now we have a great connect with the Desert Pioneers Toastmasters. Yeah. So I seriously love how you guys try and bring in such innovative ideas into your meeting. And I think it's extremely important that you are choosing theme that can make a difference, right? So I can't thank you all enough, especially this being the Mental Health Awareness Month. I think this should not be something that should be only spoken during a particular month, right? But you just began. So I really want to appreciate you all for that. And my experience, as always, I must say that, my previous experience having a meeting with you all was amazing, and this is something that I'm so passionate about, so I can't thank you all enough. So I had definitely a wonderful experience. Thank you very much, and maybe call me again, I'll be there.
Thank you, Anagha.
Thank you all.
Now we have a Toastmaster. She's also a Toastmaster, Toastmaster Kavita Sarvesh, one of our panelists again.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be a panelist for your club. And I need to thank the president, Amrit, and of course, our moderator, Suraya, for a wonderful opportunity where I could reach out to a lot of people actually. Even though I was online and I could connect with a lot of people who were just simply listening and interacting through their questions. At the same time, for me, Toastmasters Meet, whether in my own club or any other club, has always been an enriching experience. Whether I'm a panelist or I'm a speaker, it's always been very enriching. And hats off and 3 cheers to Desert Pioneers for upholding a very strong topic of mental health awareness. Hats off to you all. Great job.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. Now, the much awaited session, right? I would like to announce the winners of the meeting. Let me please share my screen with you guys. Yes. Drum rolls, please. The best speaker of the meeting goes to Toastmaster Sana Youssef. Congratulations, Sana. Now,
Thank you all.
the best evaluator. Now, this is great suspense, isn't it?
Oh my God, who could be? Who could be? Oh my God,
Could be that.
I don't know.
GTM Arid
You're
Jafar.
speaking.
Great, great. We have one more award to be given. Yes, we didn't have table topics today, but yes, this award goes to. My screen sharing is still on? No. Give me a minute.
No, it is.
Now, next award is Enthusiasm Award for that one person who took up the panel discussion today and became the reason to break those stigmas of the society regarding mental health.
Congratulations,
So,
Suraya.
good job, Suraya. Great job indeed. Keep
Great
doing
job.
your great work.
Thank you so much.
And once again, thanks everyone for being such a wonderful audience today.
So all
Now,
ladies are winners today.
Yeah, it was all ladies.
Announcements to make. Yes, I did mention about this during the introduction to Toastmasters part. Yes, we are waiting for the DTAC, dear friends. DTAC is nothing but the district annual contest, which will be happening this weekend. And guess what? We have two of our Desert Pioneers members attending the district level conference and the contest. Let me again share my screen to show you our contestants. Put your hands together for Toastmaster Hannah, who will be representing us in international speech category, humorous speech category, and evaluation speech category.
Woo.
We have one more member who will be representing us in the DAC, who is none other than our own VP Education Toastmaster Anwar Adam, who will be representing us. Who will be representing us in humorous speech category. He will be representing a different club, but he is our member and our VP Education. So, request all of you to attend this event and support our members. So once again, there is one more great achievement which we made recently. I have to announce, and I have to announce that this is really big. Yes, we managed to be the 9th club in the top 10 list of the entire clubs in the world. Yes, I'm talking about 16,800 clubs, and we managed to bag the 9th position at the moment. Clocks at 12:50. We hope we'll be able to advance a little bit more. Yes, this is a great achievement, guys, and I thank each and every members, active, dedicated members of our club for this feat, and our VP Education, who actually was relentlessly working for this feat. So without him, being so pushy, so behind us, each and every one of us, we wouldn't have achieving this kind of an achievement. Yes. So thanks a lot for all of you to achieve, to be a part of this open house meeting. Great meeting indeed. So with all your permission, let me adjourn the meeting. So the meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you.
Group photo. Yo, group photo, come on.
One more group photo. Can you all, whoever is remaining, can you all please switch on your video so that we can click the group pic with you.
Okay, Amrit, aren't you going to give us like a gift ticket in the end of the year for all the members?
I can hear you.
To go wherever we want to travel, right?
But you have to get me a ticket to come back to Kuwait.
Our president is still stuck in India. Bring our president back.
We can't see you, Helen.
Yalla, take a picture.
God is Manny cam on.
Not Manny Camp, it's Mini Camp.
Whatever.
So successful open house, guys. Successful open house.
Woo!
And we hit the century. Yes.
Yeah.
Great job, everyone.
There were more people watching the YouTube live actually.
YouTube live.
Yeah.
Wow.
My friends were sending me stuff.
Nice. So let's take a picture. Like,
Yeah.
I've been
We're
clicking-
posing.
what is mental health sign symbol?
Just do this.
Okay.
Do this, then who will take the picture?
Who's clicking, by the way? I don't know. Who's clicking.
What are we doing?
Wait,
Oh,
who's
this one.
clicking?
Okay, I'll click. Okay.
Let's go. Like this. Victory sign.
Oh,
How do you do 100? Huh?
Actually, I'll turn on only the ones that who have turned their videos on, all right? Because
Yeah,
most of them are just names.
Hi, Ruwa. Ruwa is also joining us. Huh?
Alright, ready, Elena?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready?
What are we doing? Are we doing this or this?
Up to you. Ready?
Okay. Let's do this. Let's
You know, we had the symbol, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the mental health awareness, so I think.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I take it.
Alright, yay! Woohoo!
We'll post this
Okay.
on our social media. Guys, you can go check on our Instagram or Facebook pages.
Yes.
We
If you
some
have
more
any questions,
guests still with us, yeah. So
yeah,
can
if
I
you have
get
any
feedback from
questions,
some of the guests? I can see Milt attending the meeting. Toastmaster Milt Dana. We would love to hear from you.
you can't hear. Is something wrong?
Milt?
No, I think he's left.
I think
No,
he's
he's
just
still there,
pretending
yeah.
to not. Oh, he muted.
He's unmuted now. You can actually speak. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear you except for a little bit. So
Oh.
up until a few minutes ago, everything was going good. I heard everything and saw everybody. Excellent meeting. I'm very, very proud to have been at one time a member of Desert Pioneers. So I'm really pleased that you have been able to bring in 100+ guests tonight. This is outstanding. We need to figure out how to can you up and distribute you somehow for the other clubs to take on the same sort of success. But overall, you guys did a great job tonight, and I got a lot of things, take-home things that I'm going to be researching. So all the best to you. Good luck.
Thank you, Milt. Thanks for that constructive feedback. Now, do we have any more guests?
We have a lot of guests actually.
Still?
I think Suraya would know most of them.
Not most of them. Come on. I know one person, but I don't think they're going to speak. But they did say that this was a good meeting. They've been sending me stuff in my group chat that they really love it. It was a great initiative. So I'm the messenger for them.
Hi, Rua. I keep seeing Rua jumping in and out.
Rua is actually hidden.
Yeah, she always gets excited to see you all.
Where is she? We can't see her actually. Hi, Rua. Nice hairstyle, by the way.
Who cut your hair? Did Rajesh cut your hair for you?
No, we had about coming home.
Oh, okay.
What? Don't lie, Rajesh.
All right. So I think we can.
Janet, how was the meeting today?
It was great. How are you?
Great.
Good. I really like it, and even the counter, the everything was set up properly, and it's really excited.
Yeah, so are we. This was actually an open house where we kept the meeting open to all the known Toastmaster members, like the guests. That's why you
Yeah.
predominantly saw most of the people who attended today were not Toastmasters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like the topic as well.
We are looking forward to your icebreaker.
Oh,
I think she is looking forward to it as well.
Oh, when are you going to do that? How about next meeting?
Don't scare her. Good job, Freddie.
yeah.
Suraya, do we still have any guests whom you know actually? I can see Deena Uttapa. Deena Uttapa is with us.
I think she's muted. Oh yeah, Tala is there. Tala, can you speak? She's
Tala?
actually a friend of
Yeah,
mine. who
I
just-
can see I'm here.
Yeah, hold on. Tala, it's me. Do you want to speak? Or are you cool with not speaking?
That was Tala, not Tala.
Tala.
Sorry. Okay, I thought it was,
Still overwhelmed.
I thought.
As the best speaker, still overwhelmed.
Tala, go ahead, speak. I'm sorry.
But great speech today, Sana. Really
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So she says great
Actually,
meeting.
Rajesh
Well
also
done.
has an evaluation ready for you.
We have
We can hear from
I had
Rajesh.
actually sent it to Shiraz before, and I had to like go to his chat and retrieve it really quickly.
All right, guys. Thanks for the great
Subi,
meeting.
great job, Subi, seeing you, speak after a long time. It was really great to see you speak.
Hey,
Hi,
Zainab.
Zainab.
Hi, Zainab.
Hi, salam alaikum. Belated wishes of Eid. Sorry to intrude you guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I want to know what's happening in Desert Pioneers. I want to take some ideas and take in my club.
You're in which club now?
Ideas, Zainab, you can take ideas, but our craziness, you cannot find it.
Yeah.
Definitely, I can't snatch that. Definitely. God bless you, and I'm very happy Sarah is with you. She is Sana and Sarah. Please call her
I've got two
whatever,
names.
whatever you wish.
Oh.
We were thinking we have a new member
Yeah,
called
but in
Sarah.
the slide, you wrote my name. You have given my name to her.
No, she has 3 names.
They call you Sarah, Suhan. That's a girl's name.
Suhan is called Sarah.
He was
No,
named as.
for like.
Yeah,
and I
speaker
was
2
named
was
Anna.
Toastmaster Suhan.
No. I felt like, when did I change my gender?
Rajesh, how is
All
Suba?
right, guys. I'm going to be leaving. Enjoy. Thanks for the great meeting.
Let's call it a day then.
Alina,
Bye,
you are the
Alina.
host. If you leave, we all will exist.
Oh, when did I become host? Okay. Okay,
Good
guys.
job,
you can
everyone.
stay
Good job,
here.
Vicky. Good job, Suraya. Good job, Suhan.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for all your
Bye.
support. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is like that video Sebastian sent.
Okay, I'm going to end meeting.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have
Bye-bye. Oh, what?
Alina, end the meeting.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye.